Hi, and welcome to It Doesn't Have to Be Perfect. Do you guys like my shirt if you're viewing this on YouTube? Look, it's a Sabrina shirt. I'm trying really hard to show you. I went to the Sabrina Carpenter concert in Phoenix this past Wednesday. Yeah, it was so much fun, and I went by myself, okay? And that was because I bought like a stupid it wasn't stupid, but I bought expensive tickets. And I didn't expect any of my friends to, follow along, follow my lead and spend that much on tickets. So I knew I was going to end up going alone and I did, but it was fine. It was fun. I loved it. The intro band, like the openers, I didn't know who they were, so I was kind of just like bobbing my head along. And then as soon as Sabrina came out, bro, I freaking lost it. I was like, oh my god, I'm so close. Like I can see her if she's sweating or not. You know what I mean? Like she wasn't. She was perfect. But like, I was like that close and I got a lot of videos and it was just a great, great time. I also tried to live in the moment. I would record like maybe like 20 seconds of a song and then I would put my phone down and then just sing along, bob my head, dance. It was a great time. And honestly, I said this to my coworker the other day, but like being at the Sabrina concert, like it just brought me with my people. And what I mean by that is that there was a lot of white chickens, okay? And actually my cousin like introduced me to that term. I didn't know that was a term. And I guess it's just like a very white Mexican or like, like culturally or their accent or whatever. They just dress like an American. I don't know. I don't know exactly, but like she called me a white chicken. I remember the first time I heard that term, I was like so offended. I was like, how dare you? Like I am Mexican through and through. But then again, after further reflection, I am a white again, and that's okay. Like I grew up in the United States. Like I grew up here, but I also like, spend a lot of time in Mexico. So like I accept both sides of me. And so if that's the term that she wanted to describe me as, I was like, okay, whatever. Like at first I was pissed, but then I was kind of like, no, I see it though. Cuz it's true. I mean, I'm from here and I'm from there. So anyways, that's another tangent. But yeah, it was really fun and it was worth it. It was worth it. And I think I was spoiled by the Eras tour because the Eras tour was like 3 hours. And so when Sabrina was done, because it was only like an hour and a half concert for her, I was like, "Oh, that was it." But then like that's like normal. That's what normal artists do. But Taylor is just on another level. She's like, essentially going through her entire catalog and singing from each era, literally Eras tour, duh. So yeah, and I also got merchandise. I got this T-shirt, and I was like debating on getting merchandise because I had already dropped so much money on tickets that I was like, I don't know if I can afford to do this. You know what I mean? But I ended up getting this T-shirt because I just really wanted it, and I also got this brown or espresso colored little sweatshirt. It's really pretty. I use it to sleep mostly because I got it in a large. Don't ask me why. I thought it was gonna be cozy, but like honestly, it's a little too big. But it's like it's still cozy, but it's like the sleeves are too long, and it's a whole thing. I still love it though. I if I could though, I would get a medium or a small, but you know what it is. I also got my little Dutch Bros coffee to record this because I was feeling a little treat today, and every time I go and I pay, right, Apple Pay, the guy is always like, or the girl is like, do you have the Dutch Bros app? And I'm like, no, I don't really come here unless it's for the holidays. And this guy was like, oh, did you know like this drink is like year round? And I was like, huh? He was like, yeah, the hazelnut truffle mocha, like, yeah, that's year round. Like, we always have the ingredients for it. We just like don't advertise it. And I was like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, bro, don't tell me that because you're gonna get me on something right now. Like, I was like, I only come here during the holidays because you guys have this. And then he was like, no, it's like year round that we can do it for you. And I was like, stop it, shut up. Oh my god, like, dude, he started something. And I was like, you shouldn't have told me that. He was like, I'm sorry, girl, but So that's pretty cool to know if I'm craving a sweet treat. Yeah, the hazelnut truffle white mocha blended small, and I always get it half sweet because it's already so sweet as it is. So I got that. And right now I'm at a park. I'm like in front of a school, and it feels wrong to like be here. I don't know why. Like I'm just like staring at a playground right now. But we're vibing, we're killing. I am almost done with all of my Christmas shopping. I want to say I'm like 90% done because, dude, as soon as my last vlog, I decorated for Christmas. I just literally went shopping the next week, like shopping for my sisters, my roommate, my friends, like literally everyone. And I'm still missing my stepdad and like my other brothers because it's so much harder to gift stuff to guys. Like I feel like it's always like, I don't know, because girls like anything cutesy, makeup, whatever, skincare stuff, like that's so easy. You know what I mean? Like it's so easy. And then for guys, it's like, no, I don't like. You're not gonna give them like cutesy little bows and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so I mean I could, but they wouldn't like it. And so I still need to finish my shopping list. But dude, I'm like drained. Like I'm gonna be so financially real right now. I am drained from Sabrina, from literally like merch, from Christmas shopping, even like it's all like, and I have savings, whatever, but like I don't want to dip into my savings for that. And that just doesn't seem responsible, But, holidays is usually when everyone's spending a little more, and I can definitely feel it right now. I'm just like, damn, I'm kind of low on funds. But it's one of those things that like most of the year I don't spend money like this. And so like I don't feel too bad about it. Like I never fear. I never feel guilt over spending money, like during this time, because I know that most of the year, like it's not like this. Like most of the year, I'm more like frugal, and I'm more so like very conscious and like very mindful of my spending, because at the end of the day, I am still a student and I'm still working like part-time jobs and stuff because, school comes first. And so I'm not too harsh on myself when it comes to money. Like I will be honest, like I always have like a trust that like money's going to come back to me, like because it always has, and that's a very privileged thing to say, even though I hate using the word privilege so loosely. But like I feel like in this context it makes sense, because I feel like people use the word privilege for literally everything. Like, and it's like, that word was used to describe a certain amount of people in the 1%, or nepo babies, like, so even like 10%, so like sometimes using it for me, like knowing my income, knowing my circumstances, like yes, like in a sense compared to others, like I am privileged, but like in the broader sense, like I'm okay. Like I'm doing okay, I'm doing average. I'm like the average citizen. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. Oh, another thing I want to talk about is the Wicked movie that's coming out. Listen, I am not a Broadway girly. I don't know too much about Broadway musicals, and the biggest musical in my life is High School Musical, and forever will be in my heart. I feel like even like La La Land, like I remember I tried to get into it and I just couldn't. And I mean that wasn't a Broadway musical, or was it? I don't even know. I know it's a movie. I don't know beyond that. But Wicked, originally a Broadway production, is now coming to the big screen with Ariana Grande. And I've had an episode talking about Ariana Grande and her whole relationship, essentially, like the whole drama that happened last year. Oh, that's crazy. That was a year ago. But yeah, the movie is coming out, I think this weekend, actually, as I am recording this. So it's so funny to see everyone on my TikTok, like on my TikTok For You page, like everyone is suddenly so for Ariana and SpongeBob. It's so weird to see how like people like switched up so quickly. Well, I guess in a span of a year, but like still, like you guys went from like, screw him, screw her, like how dare you break up a marriage, how dare you get involved when there's a baby involved, like how dare you, all this stuff, right? Calling her this, calling her that. then she comes out with an album, We Can't Be Friends, and like Supernatural, and like all those songs, right? And then she's just like talking about the situation, but like very, in a Ariana way, like writing about it, but like not being too obvious. And like, it's so crazy to see how people like suddenly love him. Like, I've seen videos of like, there was this one video in particular where he's coming down a hallway and everyone is like standing against the wall and clapping for him, like SpongeBob. And it's like, what? You guys were hating. Like, and I remember in the episode where I talked about the situation, I remember saying like, we don't know what happened, guys. Like, we don't know like what really happened behind the scenes. We don't know the timelines. We don't know who knew what. We don't know how they felt. We don't know how the spouses felt. Like, it was a whole situation. It was a private affair, right? And so to see people like suddenly switch up like this, I'm just like, you guys are so fake. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? You suddenly love him, and you suddenly like he thinks like you guys think he's like so sweet and so this, and it's like, wow. Well, I mean, I'm glad that people are finally like not making it this whole big thing of like villainize, but still it's like, yo, check yourself. You know what I mean? Just check yourself a little bit, because that's kind of, I don't know, it's crazy to me how the internet will switch up on you so quickly. And like, we see it all the time with people that get canceled and then suddenly they're back, and then suddenly, they're the best person in the whole world and people just like are obsessed with them. So it happens literally all the time. This is not the first time and not the first instance. So I expect that to keep happening. Like, no matter what you say, like, people are not canceled, like, it's like, unless they did something absolutely horrific that, or whatever, like the whole Diddy situation, he's done. Like, he's literally so done. But in the general sense of like, drama that happens, and then people take that drama and like have their own take on it and opinions, even though it doesn't involve their life at all, like, that's always gonna happen. So, oh, another thing I wanted to talk about is Christmas plans. So I know every family dynamic is very different. Mine is definitely like divorced parents, right? Even though my parents were never technically married. Essentially, like in like Hispanic culture, if you guys are living together, like, you guys are basically married. And so my parents were married, up until the age of 10 for me. And they got separated. And honestly, like, I don't have that one story that like I feel like is so played out in the media of like, oh my god, like her parents got divorced or their parents got divorced, like they are so like damaged from the divorce. And then in reality, for me, like, when my parents separated, I was like, cool, okay, like, that's cool, like, that's good, because you guys were miserable together. Like, it's not that my household was like violent or like verbally abusive or whatever. No, they just like, I could like, they just weren't happy together, and I could see it. Like, it, I was young, but like, I'm not an idiot, like, I picked up on things very early on. I feel like, especially being like the oldest, like, I could see it. And so like, when my parents split up and we started getting 2 Christmases, I was like, you know what? Double the presents. Sign me up. Like, I didn't care, I was like, honestly, I'm glad that you guys are doing your own thing separately, because you're happier separately, and that's okay. And yeah, and so this year I usually spend Christmas Eve with my mom and then Christmas Day with my dad. But my dad is married now. And so usually Christmas Day, like, Christmas Eve, he spends it with his wife, and they usually go to Mexico. And I usually come back from Mexico Christmas Eve, because I don't want to make the line. The lines now are so crazy, especially because it's that season of like agriculture down in the border. So like, there's a lot of people coming in and out because they work in the United States and then they cross over back through the border to go back into Mexico. And so it's a whole thing, right? There's a lot of traffic. There's just a stupid amount of lines. So I try to come back like after midnight, like Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. Like, I just come back because I don't want to wake up in the morning and make 5 hours in line, like, in my car. No, I'm not going to do that. And I think this year we're going to do the same, right? It's going to be Christmas Eve with my mom and her family in Mexico. Christmas Day, I'm actually going to spend it with my tia and my cousins in the United States, because they have like a traditional Christmas. Okay, so my aunt married this, well, I want to call him American, but like we're all like American, but we're Mexican American, you know, like it's like, but he's like full on American. He's from like the East Coast, you know, so he's a gringo, as we would call him, right? And so they have a traditional Christmas, like Christmas morning. They wake up and they open presents and they do their whole thing, right? And that's what I'm gonna do this year with them. And then with my dad, we're either gonna see him literally the day before Christmas Eve and have like a dinner, or the day after Christmas, because like it's just like scheduling wise and like all this stuff, right? So I think this year I'm gonna have 3 Christmases, which, you know, in my like a 10-year-old self is mine, like I'm like thinking right now, like, ooh, 3 different presents. Woo! Like I'm winning. Like I truly don't mind that my family, like I have like a lot of family that like sectors off. Like I really don't mind that. And I know some people would love to have their whole big happy family together. And like, yeah, that would be so cool. But like, to be so honest, like everyone is so different. And like I have so much family that it's like so much easier to just kind of like section it off, you know? And if you're in that situation and you think that it's like a bummer, like I am here to tell you, like it's low-key goated, because you know, you get fed 3 different times, bro. Like you get 3, I mean, hopefully you get 3 different presents, you know, from people. And I don't know, like it just makes it like the duration of Christmas is longer because of that, which I love. I'm not against that at all. And maybe I just have a very optimistic, positive spin on this. And that's okay, because I like the way it is. Like I like my family dynamics, even though, you know, people have their own feuds and whatever. And like to me, I'm just like la 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 la. I am so like not about, like I don't have any beef with any of my family. I'm cool with everyone. I even even people who have wronged me, I'm just like, okay, like whatever, you know. I don't have time to be mad. I don't have time to be upset. Like I care about these people too much. And like I think, I don't know if it's that, again, that Hispanic thing where we just like, it's blood, you know, and blood over anything. And I think just that's just like my mindset when it comes to it. And I'm just grateful that I have so much family in the first place, you know. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about today. It was just kind of like a catching up and like telling you my recent thoughts, and yeah, just something lighthearted, because man, like school is kicking my ass. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm kind of afraid that I'm not gonna graduate, at least this semester, because I'm really struggling with one class, and I really kind of fucked it up last night, because like I thought I had more time last night to finish an assignment that I've been working on for 3 days, right? I've been working on it consistently, but it was still a lot of work, and last night I turned in like 90% of it. And I'm just really scared now that I might not graduate this December. So that's fun. So yeah, so that's why I wanted to talk about just other random stuff, because shit, like it's getting rough out here, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's getting rough out here. But you know, we're doing our best, and just gotta push through. Just gotta push through. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end it there. Thank you so much for listening and or watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.